Hello amazing artists, this is Mr. D, and for this video I'm going to show you how to create a Mustang using geometric and organic shapes. Now this video is especially dedicated to my Arnold students because the Mustang is the mascot of Arnold Elementary School. However, if you go to Stewart or Black Bower, feel free to join in and draw along with us. I've also made two other videos with showing you how to draw a bulldog and a bobcat, which are the mascots for Stewart and Black Bower. Now you'll notice I have a Sharpie and a piece of paper, but you will need a pencil and a piece of paper. The only reason I'm using a Sharpie is so that it will show up better in the video, but you will need to erase in this video, so please make sure you have a good eraser on your pencil, and we will go ahead and get started. Now if you remember, geometric shapes are man-made shapes that are perfect and that you would not find in nature. So geometric shapes are your basic shapes, like your circles, your squares, your rectangles, your triangles. Whereas organic shapes are shapes that you would find in nature, and they usually have flow and curves to them, okay? So we're going to start off by making sure our paper is portrait. That means it's up and down or vertical. And what we're going to do is we're going to start with the Mustang's head, which is going to be a geometric shape. It's going to be a circle. And we're going to draw it not right up close to the top because we need room for the ears, but we're not going to come down lower than this part because we want to be able to give the horse a neck. So I'm going to draw my circle about this size. It doesn't have to be a perfect circle. And that's going to be the horse's head. So now we're going to give our horse ears, and we're going to use a geometric shape. We're going to use a triangle with a curved tip. So we're going to come up here. I'm going to create a triangle there, and then create a triangle there. And inside of those two triangles, we're going to put another smaller triangle. So I'm going to put another smaller triangle and another smaller triangle. Now it's your choice whether you want to color this Mustang at the end or whether you want to just use pencil and use shading. I'm going to go ahead and shade in this part of the ears with some diagonal lines, but you do not have to do that if you want to just wait and color it at the end with crayon or colored pencil. That's completely up to you. Now after I do that, I'm going to start on the nose, which is going to be longer. We're just going to create two long curved lines for the nose. So I'm going to start right about here, and I'm going to make a long curved line to about right there. And I'm going to do the same thing on this side. I'm going to make a long curved line to about right there. And that is going to be our horse's nose, or part of it, the start of it. You can tell we're going to have to erase some parts, but we're going to wait just a minute before we do that, because now I'm going to make some sideways ovals. Okay, so these are geometric shapes. I'm going to go sideways oval right there, and sideways oval right there. And then inside of those ovals, I'm going to put some smaller ovals with a little curved line at the top of it, just like that. And like that. So after you have that, we're going to create the mouth. So you're going to make a curved line, or we're going to make one just like this. And then one on this side that's the same thing, like this. So two curved lines like that. And after you have those two curved lines, what we're going to do is we are going to create the bottom half of an oval, just like this. I'm going to come down and then go back up, just like that. So that is half of an oval. Now we're going to go back up, and for the Mustang's eyes, we are going to create ovals. ovals, which are also geometric shapes. So I'm going to go right here to where my line has ended, and beside it put a large oval like that. I'm going to do the same thing on the other side. Where my line ended, I'm going to start another large oval just like that. Now after I have those large ovals, I'm going to give my horse a reflection in its eye. So I'm going to make a circle just like this, another geometric shape, and a circle like that. I may even make a smaller circle right there and a smaller circle right there. And if you decide that you want to wait and color in your Mustang later, then you don't have to do this part. But if you're just going to shade it with pencil, we need to go ahead and color in the larger oval and not color in our circles, because those are reflections. And see how I'm coloring in going up and down. I'm going one direction the entire time. You can color in going side to side or diagonally, but you should just go one direction the entire time. It will make our coloring look neater. So there is one eye colored in, and I'm going to move to the other eye, going up and down the entire time as I'm coloring. Okay, and there is our horse so far. Now we're going to work on his neck, which his neck is just going to be two curved lines. So I'm going to start right about here for the first one. And we're just going to bring a curved line down to about right there. And we're going to do the same thing on the other side. Start about right there or right here. Bring a curved line. And as it gets to the bottom, it sort of comes out a little bit. It flares out a little bit. And then we're going to give the horse some shoulders by making a wavy line like that. And same thing on the other side, a wavy line like that. Now we're going to add the organic shapes. So the organic shapes is going to be what the mane is composed of. So his mane is just his hair. It's going to be flowy and curvy and something that would be found in nature, not something that's perfect. So it's going to be the organic shape. So watch what I do right here. I'm going to start at the top. I'm going to go almost to the top of the paper and come back down. Then right here, I'm going to bring it over that line. Come down here, and we're going to make a flow. Come back and make another flowy curve. And that part's going to be a flowy curve. Then we're going to go down the neck and make it like his hair is flowing in the wind. It's going to be nice and curvy like an organic shape would be. So there's one. Okay, so there is the horse's or the Mustang's mane. The last thing that we're going to do before we erase is we're going to give the horse or the Mustang some eyebrows, which are going to be rectangles that are curved. So I'm going to start right here. Make just a slightly curved rectangle above his eye right there. And this other eyebrow is going to be mostly hidden by the hair, but we would see just a little bit of it come to right here. And then it's going to disappear behind the mane. I'm going to come down right here to the nostril oval and shade in a little bit. Again, you don't have to do that if you're going to color with a crayon or colored pencil. And now it's time to erase some parts. So you're going to use your eraser. I'm going to use my whiteout. And the first thing we want to erase is this line that's going through his nose. We'll also want to erase the line that's attaching, or the line that's between his head and his neck. So So both of those lines I erased. Only other line that we would want to erase, or there's a couple, I'm sorry. One is right here, that's going through his mane. And the others are going to be one right here, so that his ear is connected to his head, one right there, one right here, and one right there. And if you accidentally erase part of your Mustang, like I did where the ear meets the head, you can always go back with your pencil and just draw over it. I'm going to be careful because that whiteout's still dry, still wet. But and there you go. Now we have our Mustang. If you would like to add some background detail, you can. So for instance, if I wanted to add some grass, that would just be some zigzag lines. Some are going to be shorter, some are going to be curved, some are going to be longer or taller. That would be an organic shape. Over here, I would do the same thing. Some taller, some shorter, some curved. And then maybe we would want to add a sun over here, so we would just add a circle. Maybe we would want some trees, so those would be organic because they'd be flowy lines, and you can decide how many limbs and branches that you would want your tree to have. The tree could have some bark on it, or some texture like that, some curved lines for texture. You could add some leaves like that. But you could decorate your background however you would want to. Right here we may make some grass that looks a little bit larger than this because it's closer to us, and the farther or the more you go back, the smaller the grass is going to get. But there we go, we have our Mustang, and we've got a little bit of a background. So all that's left is to color. Remember, when you color, whenever you're outlining, use hard pressure. That means if you're pressing down with your crayon, press down hard. And then if you're coloring in something, always use soft pressure. And it's going to just make the outline stand out a little bit more and make your Mustang stand out a little bit more. Remember, when you're coloring, always go one direction. So you can either go up and down when you're coloring the whole time, or go side to side the whole time, or go diagonally the whole time. Okay, but that's up to you. So I hope you have an awesome time coloring. I hope you have an awesome rest of your day, and goodbye.